Welcome back to my YouTube channel with more language arts guides for you. Before I start, let me just say I really hate re-listening to these videos because my voice is really annoying. So I apologize for that because hearing myself talk really kind of irritates me. But anyway, okay, in-text citation guide. This is a little bit more complicated than the works cited page creation. So first let me say that anything you are going to cite in your text needs to go on the works cited page. So these last two presentations, they do go together. So what I have done here is I have taken several examples. Some of these I have written, some of them have came from actual classmates' essays. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through what I want you to learn is number one, what needs an in-text citation? Because I think there's some confusion on that. And number two, how do you cite it? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to read this first one. In order to be classified as bullying, the act of mistreatment must be repetitive. Now, that is not common knowledge. That is not something I personally just knew, or the average reader is going to just know. This is a fact that I got from this article right here. So I did not take it word for word. I changed the wording so it's my own. So I'm not going to need to put quotations around it because it is my own writing. But the idea is not my own, so I do need to cite it. So what I can do here to in-text cite this, I'm going to look to see if there's an author. Look right here. There is an author. It's Justin Patchen. So what I'm going to do here is if there is an author, you're going to, in your citation, it's going to look like this. You're going to do parentheses, so it's going to say Patchen. Okay, so that would be the in-text citation. There are parentheses around it. The period goes at the end. This is important. The period does not go here. There's not two periods. It doesn't look like that. It looks like this. Okay, let's say there was not an author, because a lot of times there is not an author, but it's still a legitimate website. I think the cyberbullying.gov website, it's definitely legit. You can tell it's a .gov. But there was not an author. So you do want to be leery if there's not an author, but what you'll do in that case is you'll take this part. You don't need the entire URL, you only need the website name. So what I would put, if there was no author, is I would put, I think it was cyberbullying.us, yes. I would put cyberbullying.us, just like that. Okay? So we're going to go on to this next fact. 4,400 people dead every year. This is a very intriguing sentence, very well written, but it does need a citation. So what I'm going to do here is, right now there's not a citation on it. So what you would do is, let's say this author got it from this website up here. Let's say they got it from that. I don't think they did, but let's say they did. What they would do is they would put cyberbullying.us, parentheses, period. Okay? I don't think that's the website, but I'm just showing you how it would be done and what's going to need the citation. So another reason people cyberbully is because they are unaware of how it affects the people around them. Does that need cited? This one could go either way. It completely depends whether this was the author's own idea, which to me, this definitely sounds like it was most likely this author's own thought, own idea. They didn't get it from somewhere else. So in that case, no, it does not need a citation. If the author did get it from somebody else, that's fine, as long as they've changed the words, but they would need an in-text citation right here, and it would look exactly the same as these, just using, obviously, the correct author or the correct web address. So let's keep going. Each and every child's response to cyberbullying is different and unique. This one I know the author came up with on their own. So this does not need an in-text citation. That's their own thought, that's their own idea. So they're okay on that. This one's talking about video game players. So the player could join a sport and become friends with their team. This one is another one like this one that could go either way. It depends. Did this author come up with it on their own, or did they get it from somewhere else? If they got it from somewhere else, that is perfectly fine, but they would need to cite it. So if they do need to cite it, it will look just like the rest of them. There would be web address or author here, parenthesis, period. I was trying to shorten it. Okay. Research shows that people who are physically active are more intelligent in school. Research shows that people who are more physically active are more intelligent in school. This definitely, no argument, needs a citation in text because they're citing research. Research shows, well, as a reader, I'm thinking, what research? What research shows? So you're going to need to say that. So here, there's not any doubt about it, there needs to be an in-text citation. So research shows that people who are more... So I think this was for the extracurricular activities. So let's say they got this from Dr. Phil. They could put Dr. Phil, period. If that was the, I guess that would be if that was the author of the article, though. Dr. Phil doesn't necessarily write all of these. So if there's no author, it would be I don't know what his web address is, but let's say it's drphil.com. It'd be like that. I'm not sure that's his website, but that's what it would be. So I hope this gives you a better idea of what needs a citation. So I'll go back through it. Some of your dead giveaways. If there is a number involved, a statistic, 97% of people, 4,400 people, it's almost always going to need a citation because statistics almost always come from somewhere. You can't just make up a statistic. They have to come from somewhere. So you'll need a citation. If it's your own thought, your own idea, and it's common knowledge, you do not need a citation. If you got it from somewhere else, you do. This one is not a statistic, but it is not my own idea. This one points to research. If you're pointing to research, you're also going to need an in-text citation. So this is something that technically, if you don't have an in-text citation, and if I did that, technically I'm plagiarizing because am I giving credit to this author? No, I'm pretending like I did this research and I came up with that. And as we talked about in class, plagiarism is very serious. So by not doing in-text citations, you are actually doing a form of plagiarism. So that's something that you need to be taking very seriously and being vigilant about in your writing. So I hope this cleared it up. This is in no way meant to take the place of my teaching in class, but I hope that it's kind of supplemental and will help you a little bit in your revisions on your essays as well as in the future. So I will see you next time. Thanks.